Before I came to Thailand, I was honestly kind of a mess. I am a nomad and returning to America after like a year and a half stint traveling really put a damper on my mental health. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I feel like there was so much that I had to unlearn and relearn about myself as a person working in a capitalistic society. I had to like relearn how to be a coworker and work in, these like forceful work dynamics and pressured, and you must meet your commission or you must make this sale or you must. Just this lack of connection that I feel like was really, yeah, it was like my passions were dwindling, my creativity muddled, like everything about me just felt limp. And as somebody who loves to tap into their divine feminine and is so committed to showing other women how to connect with their own divine feminine, I mean, can you imagine how that's just like ripping me to shreds? And so I'm here to discuss today a little bit about my story and a little bit about how letting go of basically everything in my life led me to being a full-time nomad, a full-time content creator, a coach, and I'm living in like my dream little bungalow in Thailand and enjoying my life and being able to take a deep breath and know that everything is okay, like just to have the peace of mind. And if that's something that calls you, like that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Please do keep on watching. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is like the actual power of letting go. What does letting go mean? Because I think it's very cliche to be like, yes, let go of this, let go of that. And people are usually talking about limiting beliefs that are in the way of transformation, or responsibilities, even letting go of a lot of times ones that we've imparted on ourselves, or, taking responsibility for other people's issues because we feel in debt to them, or there's oftentimes give way too much, way too often, and so much of ourselves, and often from an empty cup. So when I talk about I'm talking about letting go. I'm talking about anything, honestly, that stands in the way between you and your full cup, your best self, your highest self, your most joyous self, your most abundant self. As we tap into divine feminine archetypes, and if that's something that you're interested in, to definitely subscribe, because that is like so my vibe and so what I'm really excited to share with the world and share my perspective and share how these different orishas and goddesses have really spoken to me through psychedelics, through dreams, through altar work, and how that was really a catalyst for me to be able to be here, to realize and actualize my dreams. And so when I talk about let go, I'm talking about letting go of everything that you thought was working for you, the processes and the rituals and the self-talk and the whatever you thought was working for you. What have you ever considered just completely starting from zero? In Kemetic tradition, in like ancient African tradition, every day is judgment day. And that just means to me that every day you get to start over. Every day you have something to prove to yourself. Every day you get a chance to live and breathe in the fullest potential of yourself. And if we're not actualizing that for ourselves, aren't we hindering our progress? Like, aren't you, that is self-sabotage, right? Like not allowing yourself to be at the highest and most pure and most joyous, especially as women. Women, we're creators. We are the reason that everything is alive and flowing and in creation, in the act of creation and the life and death cycles. Like, we are the reason for that. And a lot of the world has us thinking that men lead everything, and men, all these like these constructs are masculine in energy. And I think that we all know, we all feel this shift in the world towards the divine balance and the divine harmony, like through the divine feminine. Yes, like we are the portal to create that harmony, because there is such a big balance between this masculine energy and where the feminine respect lies, the reverence lies. And so it is up to us, it is our responsibility to do this work on an individual and interpersonal level. So the power of letting go comes from this responsibility you have to yourself, to your future daughters, to your current daughters, to your nieces, to your grandmother, to your mother, and to your ancestors. This is bigger than just let me tap into my sensuality, which is a part of it, but let you tap into this deeper whisper, this intuition, the thing that's going to guide you, the essence of the all that is, it lies within us. It's dormant, and so it is time to wake up. Okay, so the first order of business are your relationships. I want you to, in the comments, give me a very honest evaluation of your relationships right now. Are they reciprocal relationships in your home life, in your relationships, in your sisterhoods and brotherhoods, in your, any other spaces and communities that you occupy and participate in? What do those relationships look like? And, this can just be at first thought, are they hindering you or are they helping you? You can't level up. I'm going to tell you right now, you cannot level up with people who do not want to see you shine around you. And that often can look and be hidden in different ways. Sometimes our friends are the very ones that are our greatest haters. Sometimes our family are our greatest haters. And it's up to you to use your divine discernment. And you find that by connecting to your divine femininity, your intuition. That is what shows you, it brings to light the people and the environments that are conducive to your success. And so I want you to ask yourself, and maybe even write this down, do some journaling. What do your relationships look like? Every time you go to work, are you do you have to build yourself up so much just to go to work? Maybe you need another job, boo. Maybe you need to find another way to make money. Job stands for just over broke. Right? And we'll get to this, but understanding how money works and understanding the relationship to worthiness and money is going to be a really, really, really big way and a really big limiting belief for you to let go of so that you can level up quicker and faster. That right there is a quantum leap in itself. So that's a little bonus, but, letting go of people. So, again, that could be relationships, loving relationships. How many of us are settling for less or making ourselves small for people who don't even really have the care and tenderness and patience to carry us or to nurture us or to support us? And you can't level up if you're doing all the heavy lifting. Now, us people of color, we are tribal people, we are community people, and we need each other. And I think a lot of these social constructs, especially Western constructs, really tap into that individualism and very separateness and, kind of every man for himself. And so that is a masculine energy. That is not a feminine energy. Feminine is flow, and it is mothering, and it is community, and it is abundance, and it is, I have more than enough, and I don't worry and I don't fret because there is plenty. So tap into that. You are plenty. And so where are you pouring out of your cup so much that you are depleting your own self? Remember, you just being you is enough. And so if you're giving away so much of yourself, that's when the limiting beliefs start tracking in, and they're you start thinking things that don't really even make sense. And so it's up to you to use your discernment and give yourself the stillness, go into your mind, maybe meditate, listen to music, get into, dance, move your body. There's so many ways to tap into your divine feminine, but letting go of toxic relationships and any relationships that are not serving you, that are depleting you, that are draining you, is going to be number one first order of business. If you're trying to level up quick, it's going to be through taking those relationships, doing some cord cutting. If you have an energetic practitioner, I am a Reiki practitioner, if you have somebody like that who is in your life, then you can definitely tap into those services to do some energetic cord cutting, but you can even do it yourself. Just lie down, find a comfortable spot, and just tap into the relationship. Think of the cord as a portal, right? The portal holds all of the memory and the records and the feelings and the emotions from these energy exchanges, from these relationships. And we don't often know. We know what we're putting in, and we feel what we're getting out, but we don't know what the other party, what the other side of the relationship is giving and what they're receiving. And so there's so much the unknown within this cord that the only thing to do, the right thing to do, is to cut it, is to seal it off. And so if you can envision in your mind doing that, you're on your way. You're on your way faster than you think you are. And if you need assistance and things like that, things like cord cutting, and you need a little bit more of a guide, I have a link in my bio. I do this for a number of clients, and it's the quickest way. It's the quickest way. So the second order of business is right up here. It's like, fix that crown, queen. We are addressing the limiting beliefs, we're the self-talk, the self-doubt, the low self-esteem, the low self-worth. We're addressing the body, we're addressing everything. Now, when you tap into your divine femininity, what you do realize is that the body and the mind and the spirit are indeed harmonious. And that means that it's even easier for you to connect to one aspect of yourself and the other, because now you understand how your inner workings are. You understand that there's different portals and entryways for you to get into the depths of your soul. And so as you understand yourself more, you're able to understand how you have created those limiting beliefs, how you have created the things that, actually fuel your passion and creativity, the very things that have gotten yourself to where you are today. And it is the second order of business, because if you want to level up, if you want to expand and grow, if you're like, I'm trying to just live my dreams, I don't know what the world is doing, like, now is the time, because it is the time, ladies, then what's up to you is going to be to really evaluate, do like a self-audit of what your self-talk sounds like. Are you the meanest person to yourself, or the nicest? Are you too nice? Are you like, what direction are you leaning? Sometimes we need a little bit more of a firm, stern kind of maternal conversation with ourselves, and really get real with where we are and what we've been allowing ourselves doing. If you want this beautiful body and this, and whatever, are you going to the gym? Are you walking? Are you changing your diet? Like, it starts with those conversations, because it all starts from within. It even starts with, can you even think and see and believe yourself looking in a certain way? It starts there. If you want your dream job, like, I'm living my actual dream job. Like, I literally just help women, which is what I was doing anyways, but like, now I can help women because I have so much, like, emotional space. I have so much free space because I am so free. And so now I have the capability to be able to help women without having to worry about, oh my God, I can't pay my bill, and living in the masculine. And so that was part of my self-talk, like, being sustainable depended on hard work. Like, I had to show up, I had to be the hardest working in the room, and that's how I was going to get paid, and that's how I would get a lot of money. But that's so false. It's not even true. Like, I get to just be in my divine femininity. I get to be a channel for the divine. I get to tap into my own inner workings and my own inner tools and strengths and divine gifts to be able to then reflect that to other women. I get to do that, but because I had to address how I got myself to the limiting belief, I had to go and do the work, and you work backwards. Where did I get this, this limiting belief from? Again, those relationships, who have I been around? Oftentimes we're influenced by the people that we're around, and we don't even realize how much people are rubbing off on us. So it's like, if you do have, a person who you're like helping through a hard time, sometimes you got to understand how to create distance, and you got to understand how to do you and still, be a friend. But sometimes you can't help everybody. So I say all this to say, your limiting beliefs, or whatever you think about your situation, are the catalyst, the gateway to being able to A, address and acknowledge what is actually going on in your mind, and then B, to be able to then alchemize that, to be able to take what you're saying in your mind, how it got you there, and knowing that if you just shift it, if you change it, it can get you exactly somewhere else that you want to be. You are the alchemist to be able to shift and to change and to move and to shake and to play with your seasons and cycles and what's going on in the moon and the sun and the stars in the sky. Like, that is the alchemy of your situation, taking what already is and making it something else, and you have that power. So look at your limiting beliefs and transform them, I promise. Okay, we're gonna keep on rolling. So next, I think what's really important is you have to look at your physical space, right? I literally love the concept of feng shui, and just how, like, an energy that can like organizing your space really contributes to the energy and the flow of the room. Maybe organizing your meditation space in a way that allows free-flowing air so that free-flowing thought can come. Maybe organizing your bedroom space in somewhere that feels damp and dark so that it feels like you're warm and cozy, like it represents a womb. There's different ways to highlight your space, and it starts with a decluttering of your space. We are harboring so much of our emotion in the crevices and the corners and under our beds and under our pillows and in the unwashed sheets and in the dust bunnies that we haven't gotten in years from our spaces. And there is something to say, there's such a correlation between taking, you know, so much dead weight out of your space. And then what would that be? Like old bills, paperwork, you know, like we all have a junk drawer, but clean the junk drawer, you know, the pens that don't work. There's so much attached to those physical things that if we are to detox them and then rearrange them, we don't even realize how. Like, a good analogy is this: a grain of sand moved on the beach shifts the world. And so if you're able to understand that something so minute shifts everything, then think about how taking out so much of your space, or so much dead weight, or so much of the past, or so much of who you haven't been or are not right now, think about how that could shift not only just your world, but the people's around you. If you have children, if you have a spouse, if you have a boyfriend, if you have pets, like there's, if you know, your family, like, the responsibility of the divine woman is to understand how powerful her energy is and how fast the flows and the ripples flow and are. And so understanding your power is understanding that your space dictates everything. And the spiritual aspect is you want to start doing altar work. The real key here, like I'm giving just gems right now, because altar work is a whole nother conversation. And if altar work is something that you're interested in learning more about, and you feel like I feel like there's not a lot of content about it, I'd be so happy to share like my perspective. If that's something that you want, please leave it in the comments below. I'd be happy to share about it. Maybe we do a workshop or something. But having an altar is again, leveling up in a spiritual way, in your soul. Like it's such a potent way to be able to transform your life. But the first order of business when it comes to anything altar work, anything ancestral work, is cleanliness. It's hygiene. Yes, spiritual hygiene and cleanliness, but physical as well. Remember, the mind, the body, and the spirit are harmonious. They are one. If you want to get to the altar work, if you want to get to the depths, if you want to keep going deep down and getting to know yourself on a deeper level, and your divine feminine just comes out and claws its way out, it comes from cleanliness, hygiene, from the inside outside. So speaking of the outside, and I'll make this one quick, the outside is taking care, like decluttering those bad habits. Y'all, ladies, come on. The bad habits gotta go. I'm talking about the alcohol. I know. I'm even talking about the wine. Let me tell you something. I used to be like a sommelier in training. Like, I get it. I love a good glass of wine. I love a couple of good glasses of wine. I love a flight of wine, okay? But I had to understand how it was affecting my skin, how it was affecting my body, my periods, my cramps, my everything, right? My menstrual cycles, which is very connected to mood and energy and productivity and creativity and all of the things. And so, you know, even you know, doing a little whatever, like there's so many different things that, you know, overeating, boredom eating, or just overconsumption of technology, just there's so many different habits that, again, that's where that self-talk, that like self-evaluation comes in. Because having that conversation with yourself, what am I doing in excess, or what could I be doing, you know, when you're doing something, it's like, what could I be doing instead of this? And not like, I'm not here to like, you know, throw productivity hacks at you. This is not about productivity. Rest is productive, right? You could be, but it's like, instead of scrolling at night, you know, you could be resting. You could be, you know, instead of eating, you know, things that, you know, don't even work with your body really, like the things that, you know, like, you know, you eat something and you're like, oh my God, my stomach is gonna hurt after this. Why though, babe? Why? Eat something else, you know? Eat something else, drink something else. I'm not knocking everything. Listen, I'm not like a straight and narrow type of person, but there's something about the selection and the intention and the consciousness of being so cautious and careful, treating yourself like you would a baby, like you would your best friend. Like, what's the advice that you would give your best friend, your sister, if you saw that they were doing things that were hindering them? You would encourage them to find another habit that benefits them. So again, treat yourself with kindness. Like, just do it for you. This last point is my major key, and I really want to share it because I think that I'm speaking to somebody very specifically right now. And if it is you, let me tell you something, babe. I love you so much and I don't even know you, but I need you to know that syncing your seasonal cycles with your life is literally the key to transformation, to the divine feminine that you already are, like awakening the inner wild, like all of it. And let me tell you what I'm talking about. So I'm talking about your menstrual cycles, the lunar cycles. I'm talking about your seasonal cycles. Like if you know during this season I'm so productive, like figure out how to move your work calendar or work schedule or your creative calendar to where that month, those months, maybe you're just giving yourself like optimum time to nurture that creativity, right? If some people have seasonal depression. If you know that the winter time is not great for you, maybe that's when you take a sabbatical at work, or maybe that's when you go online at work so that you can change your environment. Maybe that's when you go work in Mexico and get some sun while in the winter months, and then you come back. In your menstrual cycles, like it's so important for us to even really develop a better relationship with our womb and with our womb health, and to understand like the length and duration and how our energy level feels, and how our hunger levels and all of the different levels and things that present themselves. It's really important for us to understand that. And even during that time period, how do we, it's like protecting yourself. Like, do you need to be maybe more reserved? Maybe this is not the time you take on big projects, or maybe this is not the time for date night, because you can't fully be present, or you're too tired, or maybe this is, just knowing how you operate. It helps you in business, it helps you in relationships, it helps you at work. Like there's so many different aspects, and you can extrapolate this to every area of your life, but learning your cycles is so helpful. And this is what I do. I am a coach. I am an intuitive transformational coach. And if this is something that really interests you, please click the link in the bio and schedule a one-on-one with me. In 30 minutes, I'll tell you a birth chart analysis. I'll tell you how we can level up your income. I'll tell you how you can level up your love life. And if you are a nomad or looking for a sabbatical or just some type of like travel therapy, I'm your girl. Like, let's talk about it. Let's get you out of the US and into your dream place. So that is what I wanted to share today. And I really hope this is helpful. I know it's going to be helpful. I know that I'm talking to somebody, but it's like, babe, start small, but just start. To level up, to transform. If you're just like, I want to start from scratch, and you could be any age, any background, any whatever. I'm talking to women specifically. Like men, I love you, like don't get me wrong, whatever, but but like women, I feel like this is our time to shine. Yeah, I really hope that this lands, and that you continue to watch and subscribe, and maybe comment and tell me if you want anything else. I am an open book, and I love talking about this, and I love empowering women, and yeah, I love you. So peace. Thanks for watching.